everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Indie Credible Podcast. This is episode 42. I'm one of your hosts, Xander Scully, and joined with me is Jeffrey Wittenhagen. What's up, Jeff?
Oh, I am here. It's been a week. I've actually had time to play some games, and
Same.
it's been a wild one, even though I've started work too. So it
hmm
is a wild time. Um, I did spend some time though, this week because every evening we've been kind of documenting Kyle's collection as we go through things. And I
hmm
figured I would show off a couple of like fun items every week as we're doing this. So I actually grabbed a
Yeah,
couple things. So first and foremost, this one right here, Mortal Kombat
Oh,
Trilogy, the Scorpion figure,
I remember
which
those. I remember
yeah.
those. Yeah.
And like this is the random stuff that we come across. Like we're gonna go in a random box, and it's an awesome looking scorpion from Mortal Kombat trilogy. The other one, this one's crazy. It's a little heavier.
Oh my gosh. There's
A
just a box Turbo Graphics.
a box TurboGrafx 16, complete
Yeah.
in box with all the styrofoam and everything. And I'm like, what the heck? So now I got to find a cool way to display it because I already have my turbo section set up. There's not space for a giant box. Um, but
Nuts.
in the show notes, I did include something that I did this week too, and I set up my Nintendo Entertainment System in a little mini TV. There's like a little tiny small built-in underneath the stairs, and it has like a hole in it to put a power cable. Well, the TV that I bought that I used to have behind the bar fits perfectly in there with a Nintendo front loader on top of it.
That's awesome.
So it was hilarious because we were looking at stuff from Kyle's collection, and there was this one NES cartridge, no label, but it had Ninja Turtle stickers on it. So I told my wife, probably Ninja Turtles on it, but I was like, I can actually test it. So we put it in the console and tested it, and indeed it was Turtles 1. So
You're like it
super,
was you're like it was City
super cool.
Connection.
City Connection. No, but it was Turtles 1, so that's pretty cool though. And so yeah, using the classic Nintendo that him and I used to play on is
That's
is pretty
awesome.
dope. So got it sitting over there in the alcove as I, continue to work on stuff. So
That's cool. Yeah, I'm definitely stoked to see whatever random things that Kyle had, man. And it's so ironic that you were showing the Scorpion from Mortal Kombat Trilogy because the
yeah.
Combat Collection is coming out, and I can't remember what company it is, but they're releasing classic combat action figures.
Yeah.
They are so cool, man. They
So
showed one of like Scorpion, and it was like Mortal Kombat 2 era. It's
so to
awesome.
put things into perspective, like looking over to my right, this is something that we were going over. Like these are all mint. Like all these are CIB Super Nintendo games. Like
Oh my
literally
gosh.
going through them all. There's ones like Super Valis 4s in the different pile. And like it's so much stuff. It's one of my buddies, Kevin, put it in perspective. He's like, it's a full job to go through and document everything.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It is crazy. So yeah, I'm just going through. We're documenting. If there's anything that does, it's not like collection worthy. So like, there's some random stuff like chords and other things. If it's not collection worthy, we're making notes too. We might be donating some stuff for charity, all that. So it's
Well, yeah, I had a very similar situation happen. Not to me personally, but I was like in an Uber ride, and my Uber driver worked for a comic book like tabletop shop in town called Cape Fear Games. And a couple years ago, they acquired someone's collection, and this guy like worked for some like toy manufacturer, and he passed away, and he held on to everything. And like that was that person's job. Other than Uber, they're like, I just went in this warehouse and we just cataloged this guy's collection. I mean, there were like prototypes of action figures. It's all that they were like, it's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, it
when
can be.
somebody collects everything, though, there is everything. So it's not just all the museum worthy pieces, but there's all the things. And
Yeah.
so that's what's taking up a lot of our time is all of the things. Because the collection worthy stuff is easy. It's the random boxes and boxes of things that we're going through. And like all the little Mario toys from like Walmart. It's like they're all boxed like Mario and Toad and all. And I'm like, those aren't collection worthy because they're literally at Target or Walmart or whatever.
Yeah.
But they're gotta go through them all. You gotta do all the
Yeah.
things. It's wild. It's a thing. So like every evening, my wife and I have been doing it little by little. In
Yeah.
between painting, because I'm still painting. Um,
Yeah, speaking of going through it all, man, we
eh.
got a lot to go through with this episode. This episode is like it's not even over the brim. It's like overflowing because like you said earlier, you've had time to play games. I've had time to play games. I think we've both been playing kind of the same thing, so we can kind of jump into that. But Ninja Gaiden, holy crap! We were talking about it a couple episodes ago. I was like, yeah, I played the demo. It was a lot of fun, and you were in the process of getting it. Now since then, man, I've been addicted to it. It is an amazing freaking game.
Yeah, so I was able to play Ninja Gaiden Ragebound because the goal was to play Ragebound and another game. And I was able to play everything this week, so that's cool. So I fired it up. It definitely plays not like Ninja Gaiden, believe it or not. It
Right.
really doesn't. It plays like a different game. It's called Strider. It
Hmm.
plays like freaking Strider, but that is a good thing. Because Ninja Gaiden to me was about pixel perfect platforming, getting knocked back, trying to figure out all the patterns, all the enemies, and going through and feeling like a badass. You still feel like a badass in Ragebound. However, there is more of a attack and you have waves of enemies and you're just
Hmm.
plowing through guys and adding in the second character which then turns into more abilities is a really cool way to add depth to the character because you get the one female ninja who ends up like absorbing into you as a soul, which is pretty dope because she has her own side story. You get to play as her too, and she's a badass. And then
Yeah.
she like gives you her abilities as well. So then you just like have a full kit bag of things. You also get to upgrade at the end of levels,
Yeah.
which I thought was really cool. It was really neat. And so I started to pour in some of my stuff that I've collected into, different avenues because I think you get like one or two like little like options each time, I think it is.
Hmm.
But it's also like based on how many things you collect in every level, and then you talk
Yeah.
to the master and upgrade, and it's
Yeah,
pretty
because
dope.
you have to get like these like golden beetles and there's like blue skulls and then there's like challenging levels too, like challenge levels. I haven't even started on
Yeah.
those. I just been playing through the main story and I'm finally at like Act 4.
Okay.
So I mean I'm getting to the tail end of it and it does start getting a little challenging towards the end. I was like, holy shit, like but it's good. I've been enjoying that.
I want to say that I'm in Act 3-ish, 3, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is.
Mhm.
And I did go and play some of the because you hit like a bumper, like RB or whatever, and you can go into the special stage. And I played through a special stage, which was really fun. They're pretty short, so they're worth doing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
they're
they're
pretty
not
short.
long.
And they do give you a rating based on multiple things as you beat a level. So you get as you go through, if you collect all the things, beat all the enemies, take less damage, you get a rating up to S. I did like the damn special stage, like almost freaking perfect, all the things, and I still didn't quite get an S. So I must not have been fast enough.
Which that's another thing. Like this game is going to be like a speedrunner's dream. Because I mean, there's times that like you said, like you feel like a badass. Like I'd be playing and I'd like zip it and zapping and because you have that really cool like almost parrying system that you have with your jump mechanic where you can like jump and kind of bounce off enemies. So I mean,
Yep.
there's certain areas where like the enemies will swarm you and you can either mow them down or you can just run and just like jump off their heads and like go on a platform, climb the wall and get to the next there's so much of this game and I didn't realize it until I started playing it and doing a little bit more research. But the folks that developed the game are the folks behind Blasphemous, and I'm like, oh,
That
okay,
makes sense. That makes a
yeah,
lot of sense, actually.
yeah. So I mean, is it worth it? Absolutely. I think it's definitely going to be one of my contenders of like my game of the year, like group. I don't really like say one game's game of the year, but I have like a group, a little 2025 click of games that I hang out and it's invited to the table for sure.
Like normally my end of year like top 10 or whatever have to be games that I've beaten, but this year I haven't beaten a ton of games, so I'm probably gonna have to go with like my favorites this year, which would be interesting. I'm gonna have to look into show notes and stuff because this year it's been
Yeah.
almost all indie plus like games like Bonanza, which I really haven't went back to in a few weeks, but it's
Mhm.
still there in my Switch 2 waiting. I just been playing indie stuff, so.
And speaking of indie stuff, another game that both of us been playing is the much anticipated Earthion.
Hmm.
The Sega Genesis shooter, and this isn't like a Genesis inspired shooter or shmup, whatever you want to call it, but this is a legit Genesis game. Like it's built for the Genesis, and I think they said no, like next year they're gonna be making releasing it on the Genesis. But
Can't even
I
imagine it running because of the like the 3D-ness of the ship and everything. Like it just looks very impressive.
It's so good. Soundtrack, of course, by Yuzo Koshiro. Soundtrack's like right up there with like Streets of Rage and all of his best work. It feels like a time machine, time capsule game. Like it feels like a game that I had never played that came out for the Genesis that somehow I stumbled on. Like it's
Yeah.
really good. I like it.
Well, and it was interesting because when I fired it up, I was having issues with the controller. So I would like play it and you have to like go to the controller settings, move it to raw input, and then after I pressed the button a few times, it would disconnect every time. And it continually did that. I asked you, you said you had an Xbox 360 controller or something
Hmm.
that worked.
Yeah.
So I couldn't find mine. I looked everywhere. I did not find the 360 controller. But I forgot I had something and I had this.
Oh, that's even better.
So I plugged this
That's
in and it doesn't work with the Bluetooth because there was something with the Bluetooth, but
mm,
plugged in the wire. Plugged in the wire for my 8-bit arcade stick and put it in X mode and it worked flawlessly in the raw input. So it was awesome. And what I like about Earthbound once I finally got to play it was that the power up system combined with the progression feels like an old school Genesis shooter. It's not like super crazy intense bullet hell, all
right.
the insane stuff. It's more like you're getting swarmed with enemies more so than bullets, which I liked. I maybe it happens later as you progress because I only got in about 3, 4 levels in before I lost all my lives. But it
Mm.
was very satisfying. Makes me want to go back and continue to get better and better and better at the game.
Yeah, because there's a lot of customization with your like you have almost like a loadout system. And like you said, it is more like an old school shooter. Like I was getting some like Thunder Force vibes and whatnot playing it. It's definitely not a bullet hell, and that's good. Because I feel like we have a lot of bullet hells, and I'm glad this is a callback to that 16-bit era, and that's what it feels like.
And one thing I didn't know until after a while was that there's like the options, like you have your normal options,
Hmm.
but then there's like this little capsule option. What I didn't know was is if you keep that capsule option in your inventory when you beat the end boss of a level, you get to level up something in the game in your repertoire.
Oh
Because
shit.
I accidentally did it a few times. Like the first time I had it in my thing because I was like, oh, whatever this is, and I was able to upgrade like something like your power or your speed, or you can upgrade one of your weapons
Mm.
significantly. And I didn't understand what happened because like one level, I was level 3, I think, didn't give me a level up. I'm like, well, what the hell happened? I didn't realize that power up actually does that. It looks like an option, but it has like a little like Mega Man capsule looking thing around it. And that thing you just keep it does you no good with the weapon, but um that you keep into your repertoire and when you beat the end boss you get to level up. The other thing that was interesting was is your extra power-ups, your like missiles or whatever.
Hmm.
Some of them drain the bar. But what I found was there's this one that does like this spread shot, and I could literally just hold it down with my shot, and it never really depleted based on how many enemies I was killing. So that way, I basically had double attack. So I was kind of going
Nice.
through, holding down the two buttons as because I'm playing it on an arcade stick basically, and going through with the clickiness, and going through and like holding down both, and it was helping me get through the levels pretty easily. So Earthion's really good, really
Yeah.
good. When I'm just already first couple playthroughs starting to create like ways to better play the game, it's a good sign.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be like I read somewhere where someone says someone had said that when they think of shooters, they think of like Ikaruga, and they're like, man, Earthion might knock it down a peg. I'm like, man, that's crazy. But you know, speaking of shooters, the next one I'm going to talk about is I haven't played it yet, but the Gradius Origins came
Because
out.
it blind dropped. Yeah,
Yeah, it came out
greatest
of
origin.
nowhere. It was
And
crazy.
and the only game I was interested in, Salamander 3, because I was a huge Life Force fan, Life Force Salamander. Huge Life Force fan growing up. There was actually the Nintendo game of Life Force was given to me by my cousin Dave, who came over on Thanksgiving and brought it and gave it to me. Some kid in high school left it in in the desk in front of him. So and he
Wow.
got a copy of it. They didn't want it. He brought it over and gave it to me. So I had my copy of Life Force. So I got really, really good at Life Force with, and then later without the Konami code. And speaking of that, I didn't try the Konami code, so I don't know if the Konami code does anything. That's actually something. But I actually had control issues again. And
Hmm.
it was a weird one because it wouldn't recognize that I had a controller at all. It would only work with my keyboard. But as I wanted to play with this, I was literally playing Earthion, so I wanted to play with this. So what I ended up having to do, joy to key. That's how I fixed it. So I did joy
Hmm.
to key. And I had to go into Steam and turn off Steam compatibility. And then all I did was I took all the little arrow buttons and I mapped them. I mapped everything in the controls so then I could play Salamander 3. And
Hmm.
if you're not familiar, the listeners with the Salamander series, what's cool about them is that Salamander, you like play like Gradius style sideways, but then you go to the second level and it flips it to a top down and
Hmm.
every level changes the orientation, and there's tons of epic boss battles. Salamander 2 was only in the arcades in Japan for the longest time. This actually is technically the first US release of Salamander 2 as well. And so
Wow.
it was I want to say there was a Gradius collection in Japan on the PSP.
Hmm.
But that was like about it. That's all we got with us for Salamander 2. So this is like the first US release of that. And then they created a Salamander 3. The graphics in it look freaking phenomenal. It's
Yeah, it
like
looks
it's
so good.
almost distracting how good it looks. And fighting the first boss fight is very challenging, and there's so many little crazy, like you're like fighting him, and then like there's so much craziness that goes on as it evolves. And then the second level boss, so you're overhead, and typically you're fighting a boss, and they have like these little line things that disappear slowly until you get to the core, and so shoot the core. It was crazy though, because then it ended up creating more of its own head multiplied. So then there was like four or five of the little enemy bosses, and then
Oh
like
my gosh.
it was nuts. I want to say that is where I lost my all my lives for the first playthrough.
Hmm.
You can continue to play forever though, so you could technically pump in credits. However, the this game, which I don't know if Earthion has this, but this game has world leaderboards. And on the world global leaderboards, if you use a continue, you can no longer qualify for the leaderboards anymore. So you have to do it on one credit or one continue with however
Whew.
many ships you use.
Hmm.
So yeah, but Salamander 3 is cool as shit. And you get to choose between Lord British and Vic Viper, classic Vic Viper. But
Oh
Lord
yeah.
British is first, which is interesting. So
Yeah.
because usually Vic Viper is your first player, but Lord British is the first player this time. Yeah, so I really enjoyed it though. I haven't played any of the other games in the collection, just because for me, Salamander 3 was the reason for me to
Yeah.
pick up the collection on Steam. Because again, having the issue on Steam. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I was happy I got to play some freaking games. Holy shit.
Yeah. Same here. And I mean, the cool thing is like a lot of that stuff's probably going to get updated later on. It's probably some sort of bug with the Gradius Origin collection. So it is what it is. And I was looking at the show notes, and I was kind of floored with this announcement that Limited Run Games just came out of nowhere and talked about a new Scott Pilgrim. Like what?
Yeah, so that was actually one of our like topics to for you and I to kind of vibe off of. Because
Mm.
do you think that limited run games is releasing way too much out there? Because like for me as a publisher, it's interesting to give preservation to new stuff like when I was publishing games and limited run was all about the preservation, but now they were bought out by Embracer, so now they have major IPs, but like I didn't even notice that this game came out. I just or if this was just Scott Pilgrim, but this game's called Scott Pilgrim EX and it's a sequel. And I'm
Yeah,
like, so there's a sequel to one of the white whales of the Xbox 360 generation that went away, and it's like not a big deal. Like I haven't really seen anybody talking about it, and it's a brand new Scott Pilgrim game, and that's freaking cool.
it looks
And
amazing.
yeah, like it was wild. And so like I wrote in there tribute games rabbit hole. So what that means is if you go to like Scott Pilgrim EX on Steam, right?
Hmm.
And it's developed by Tribute Games. Well, Tribute Games has a ridiculous amount of quality games out there because they did Shredder's Revenge
Right. Yeah, they're great.
and Steel Assault and Panzer Paladin and Flint Hook. But there's other games on here that I hadn't heard of, like this game called Ninja Senki DX. And it looks just like a classic Ninja Jar Jar Maru-kun games that were on the Famicom, but like modernized, and nobody's freaking talked about it. It looks
Oh my
badass.
gosh.
Yeah, and like so this is stuff where like you have this amazing developer that makes crazy stuff. That's an 8-bit style ninja platformer. And then there's this other game called Wizorb that looks like a crazy Zelda game, but with like Arkanoid and a whole
That's
story mode.
that's crazy.
And it's amazing pixel graphics. So I'm like, what are we doing here that we're like releasing all of these games? You also have Curses in Chaos, which is like another like crazy looking arena brawler game. And so like there's like Tribute is doing all these amazing titles and it's getting overlooked because like Tribute's also doing the Marvel Cosmic Invasion, by the way, which is a
Right.
spiritual successor to all the Marvel beat 'em ups from the arcade era. Like, and it just looks amazing. It has all the freaking characters in it from like Marvel. So like that's the issue that I see with what limited runs doing is that they just got too much stuff coming out that the shiny penny is getting the focus, and then like Scott Pilgrim
Yeah.
EX is getting overlooked. Like, what the hell, Xander?
Yeah, because I feel like with limited run, I feel like every other week's like a new collection, a new like re-release. Like their re-releases, like I feel like those get pushed so up front that we miss out on stuff like Scott Pilgrim.
Well,
Because
and you
like
say every other week. I feel like it's multiple times a week.
yeah,
Like, not even every other week. Like, multiple times a week are crazy games coming out. I mean, this week was already Hexen and Heretic.
yeah,
Yeah. And that was just like a day ago. And it's going to continue. There's going to be new stuff out there. And at the same time, you still got the Doom Super Nintendo cartridge that's on their website. And then all the, like, it's all these amazing IPs. But then, like, it's at a certain point, it's so much that things are getting overlooked by the community because you can't give everything focus.
I mean that's one of the reasons why we started this podcast with indie games to kind of
Yeah.
catalog and talk about our games because like I would argue it's not just limited run, it's just gaming in general. There's so much coming out that like there's so much that we miss out on. Like the Gradius Origin Collection coming out of nowhere, like I'm pretty sure there was a release date, but we forgot because you had Switch 2, you had, indie games, you had Bonanza, you had all this stuff, and it's crazy, man. Like I'm glad you brought it to my attention because I didn't know there was a new Scott Pilgrim. I had no idea.
Well, it's wild. And like, even today, like super rare games, I think announced the one frog game, the frog shooter game, the sequel that we
Oh
talked about on
yeah,
the
Frog
podcast.
Gun, yeah.
Yeah, Frogun, they announced a physical for the sequel. And so like, but we had covered that, which is great. So it's cool to see that kind of stuff too. But they're not releasing games every couple times a week, like every a
Yeah.
day. And the fact that like I barely caught that Scott Pilgrim was. I had to go down a rabbit hole to figure that out. I had to click multiple things. Look, I'm like, oh shit, this is a new game. Like that right there shows me that there is a potential problem with unless you're like completely focused on one specific thing. Like if limited runs your life, you would have figured that out. But like for
Yeah.
those of us that play everything, play games, just enjoy video games, it's like we're gonna miss out on some cool shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know I've already missed out on a lot. I mean, there's just so much. I mean, speaking of like new releases, we had some indie games announced for the Switch and Switch 2 as well,
And
including
that
in
isn't even in the show notes.
yeah. Yeah, because I mean, there's a I mean, we have a lot of games to talk about. So, I will say though, one of the highlights for that indie that I really enjoyed that you showed me was the brand new Yacht Club game coming out.
Oh yeah, that was at the very beginning. 'Cause I didn't even know there was going to be a damn Indie Direct, and it popped up in my feed. So I didn't even see the Nintendo Indie Direct. So there was no email, no nothing. And so I just saw it. So I watched it real fast, and I saw that there was a handful of games. I sent, and I just took like screenshots real quick and sent them to you. And so I don't even remember the names of the games because I went so fast. I didn't write them down into the show notes or anything. I know you took some notes, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna pulling up the name of the game right now. Let's see, it's Mina the Hollower.
Oh, Mina the Hollower, and I'm pretty sure that is a Metroidvania as well because I've been
Mm-hmm.
tracking Mina the Hollower for a while, and that game looks so freaking good.
So,
Like,
so
oh
nice.
my gosh. Yeah, I want to look it up real fast because yeah, Mina itself, like it looks like an 8-bit Zelda style tribute to a Metroidvania. Like
Yeah,
it just looks
it's got a
so good.
great soundtrack. It has that yacht club touch to it. Because I was watching it and I was getting the same feeling as I was getting when I first saw Shovel Knight. Just this magical looking game. I mean, the sprites are really chunky and beautiful soundtrack, and yeah, I think it is a Metroidvania. And so that's coming out. That's coming out on Halloween this year.
It's
That's coming out.
wild. That is wild. And the thing is that like Yacht Club Games itself doesn't even get its own page on Steam, which is wild to me. Like if you click on Yacht
Oh
Club,
wow.
it doesn't pop up. It just does the search. Because all it
Huh.
is Shovel Knight Games and then Mina, the Holler.
Yeah.
So Halloween release looks badass. Like hopefully this is the next really fun, Shovel Knight style game. But I mean we know it's gonna be quality. I hope it like the fickleness of the current gaming community doesn't like see it and move on immediately the next day
Yeah.
for the next 100 games that come out. Because like it's like we don't get to take the time to enjoy it for a week. We get a
Right.
week to enjoy it. It's like, all right, next game, next day, another day. And like we're covering some stuff and then we try to go back and play a few of the fun ones and we take our time. Like if I don't beat the games, I may move on. So I may move on and not get back to Earthion, which is why I would love to have it on a Genesis cartridge because I could literally keep it in a Genesis or my Nomad and play it every
Yeah.
time I get a hair up my ass. It'd be amazing. Yeah, Mina looks so freaking good, man. Can't
And
wait.
and of course, honorable mention was the Switch release for UFO 50.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
Definitely had to mention that because that's a very nostalgic game. That was kind of the game that brought the podcast together. So I'm glad that it's getting a physical. Or no, I don't.
Well,
I hope it gets a physical. That's what I
Well,
meant to
glad
say.
it's getting a Switch release, but yeah, we
Yeah,
were talking about this before the recording. If this gets a physical, that's a day one purchase. Hopefully, they make it cool like we would have liked, which you get like a little mini PC stuff and packaging that looks like the classics.
yeah, that would be amazing. And speaking of amazing, so
Mm.
should we start with the new and noteworthy or the
Hmm.
budget because both of them have some heavy hitters in here.
I say we start with new and noteworthy. Um, and the first one is controversial, which is hilarious.
Dude, I was not expecting the first one. I was shooting the B-roll, and I'm not going to be able to show any of the B-roll because I was like, oh, I can't show this on YouTube. Because yeah, it's a side-scrolling hack and slash with a very
Yeah, it is very adult oriented, and the reason why I added this, so the game is called The Wandering Corinne. I didn't realize how lewd it was until I it was funny. Um, but there's a reason why I added this game, and not so much that it's something that's n new, but it's more noteworthy because I don't know if you're tracking this, but based on the way that Steam is going, a lot of these games are getting delisted, completely gone forever. So there's
yeah.
dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of adult games that are getting removed. And a lot of them are like low effort like games, like just porn for porn's sake. So
Yeah.
like this game, that's the only reason why I added it was that this game is among the slew, and it is wild to see the preservation scene going into overdrive, adding all these lewd things. Like it's, so if you're somebody who enjoys playing games with a little bit of hentai in them and all that stuff, you need to get them, but you need to get
Hey.
them now.
Yeah.
But you know, you need to get them now because they're going to be gone. Like I'm not going to play the games. There was one game that had a hentai section to it that was pretty cool, but it was a spiritual successor to like Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. But then
Yeah.
there was like these little perverted scenes, but you could put in a safe for work version, so that way it just
Oh,
got rid of
cool.
that shit. So,
Yeah.
and then the boss fights were a little different. So that was cool. Even though I think when we were playing on video game bullshit, I think Tristan played the lewd version. I thought that was funny. I was like, what the hell?
But yeah, dude, I was just not expecting it because I'm sitting there, when I'm catching the B-roll, I'm watching the trailer and I'm kind of like noting down some quick thoughts. And I was like, yeah, this is, oh, okay. The art style kind of made me think of like Dragon's Crown because, she was very muscular, I'm like, okay. And I'm like, oh, the gameplay is kind of like Popful Mail. Hey, this might be up, man. And then the Goblin came out of nowhere and I'm like, okay, all right. So
Yeah,
again,
I know.
folks, I can't show any of the B-roll, but you can see it on Steam. And like Jeff said, it's probably gonna be delisted. So if you want to archive it now's the time.
Yeah, if you're one of
Gobbles
those that
away.
need to archive all the lewd stuff, you might want to get down that rabbit hole. But yeah, not something I'm going to be playing, but like I thought it'd be a funny one to talk about.
That was funny. And this next game, polar opposite. Actually, I played this game on the Switch, and we mentioned the sequel in a previous episode. But as METAGAL or
Gal.
METAGAL,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, I actually went to the next game and you skipped one unless we already covered it.
Oh, what was it?
Chronicles the Teddy, Harmony of
Oh yeah,
Exodus.
yeah. Let's go back to that one. Chronicles of Teddy.
Xander likes to scramble the list every once in a while.
I did skip that one. I'm my bad.
Yeah. So yeah, the next game is Chronicles of Teddy. It's a Metroidvania developed by Storybird, and it's interesting because I thought that this game, it's either been in my list for a while because it was released in 2015,
Oh
so
wow.
it's 10 years old. It has a retro art style female protagonist, not lewd at all. By the way, just in case Xander, you're wondering. Um, but it definitely has gotten some recent updates, which is why it's an interesting thing to. It's been in my library for a while, so I think it was on sale a while ago. Currently, though, $15, $15 game.
The art style kind of makes me think of I don't know if you ever played it, but this one game called Elliot's Quest. Kind of has Elliot's Quest meets like Tiny Barbarian. I
A
kind
bit
of like that.
Celeste in it too.
Yeah. Yeah, I like
A bit
that.
Celeste, but yeah, it's a complete Metroidvania though. One of the ones that is an older Metroidvania style pixel art game, which I always like to talk about these. And I don't think we've talked about it, so I wanted to make sure that we gave Chronicles of Teddy a shout out because this game is excellent. The controls are great, the graphics look amazing, minimalist style, but definitely modernized aesthetics in there. And it's just some of the backgrounds look amazing. So 100%.
But now jumping back into Metagal, 'cause we were talking about that. Uh,
Mm.
now have you played Metagal Origins? Now, did you ever play the first one?
Um, the first one, what do you mean?
Because this is actually the first one. It's funny because the Metagal Origins is the
Yeah.
sequel. But this is the first one, and I thought the first one because I had this on Switch. I thought it was
You're Xander scrambling it though because it was called Metaloid Origin, not MetaGal.
oh, am I thinking of a totally
It's
different
different
game?
series.
Different series.
No,
Oh
no,
my
same
God.
developer, same developer.
Oh,
So they released MetaGal in 2016. In 2019, we talked about this Metaloid Origin.
that's right. Jeez, that's what it is. But no, I did play
Yeah,
Metagal. Metagal is like a very Super Nintendo-esque Mega Man. It plays like Super Nintendo
yeah,
Mega Man.
yeah.
Like it's really fun.
Yeah, it's very simplistic. The graphics though look impressive, so that's the one good thing about Metagal. And it's always been on sale on the Switch forever, for as long as I can remember.
Hmm.
This game was released in 2016, so there's a lot of noteworthy this episode, by the way. Not a lot of newer stuff, a lot of noteworthy. A $4 game, so that's good price for
Definitely
a
worth it.
Mega Man style game.
And I mean
Mhm.
that's pretty much it. I mean, like it. I want to play the one that we mentioned in a previous episode to see what they improved because I liked Metagal, but it was very Mega Man like. I didn't have that much of a oomph to a personality. It was very just a Mega Man like game, but
Yeah,
still
exactly.
fun. You know,
Exactly. Where they going?
this next one, RPG Golf, I could have swore I feel like I've played this game.
So, RPG Golf was released in 2018. It's
Hmm.
RPG meets golf, very self-explanatory. There was a newer version slash sequel that was released called RPG Golf Legends. That's like $15. But
Hmm.
this is the original one, super budget, like it's a $4 game. And it's just some of these games have gotten recent upgrades and things. So it came across my feed. So I was like, well, now's a good time to talk about it. And so Arctic Net is the developer of it. Arctic Net works along with Chorus Worldwide as a publisher, but they have like lots and crazy games in there, like in their repertoire. So these games like RPG Golf get lost in the sauce, unfortunately. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the game looks it's cool as hell. It's just very simple. There's like little enemies that wander around as you golf.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big sports person, but I love these kind of games or like arcade like sports games. Um like I don't know, like RPG and golf just really goes hand in hand. Like cuz even like the Mario Golf on the Game Boy Color had like an RPG element to it. Something about it. So I mean, I'm really intrigued to try it out. So,
Well, and like the Legends one does like dungeons and shit too, which is wild. So
mm,
I'm not sure if RPG Golf itself had dungeons in a story mode. But the that one was released in 2022, the Legends one. And so it's currently on sale for $15, but it's a $30 game normally. But Kemco actually picked it up for that one. So Kemco is actually a big RPG team. Picked that up, whereas the original RPG Golf, it does have some like dungeons, but I think it's like fleshed out in Legends or something. It's like they put another 4 years of work into it, basically.
oh
Pretty
yeah.
dope. Pretty dope.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good price. I'm gonna check that out. And this next game, man, whew, this game
This
is
one
nuts.
is technically a budget title, technically, 'cause it's under $2.
Yeah. And how the heck do we pronounce it? What is that? Like Ceno nod? Ceno like I'm
I mean, it's Noid at the end for sure, like yo
Noid,
Noid.
yeah.
So Cecconoid.
See, there you go.
Like
There you
I
go.
don't
First
like
try.
Stickonoid. 8-bit inspired flick screen twin stick shooter. So flick screen, which means when you go to it, it flicks over like a Legend of Zelda did. But it's interesting because it's a twin stick shooter, but you're like flying almost as your ship in the levels, which it just seems cool as hell. And the graphics, though, black and white aesthetics, like complete, like arcade style, feels like Robotron to me.
Yeah, and I will say for the record, I am not a like a scan line filter kind of gamer. Like when I'm playing games,
Yeah.
They just always look kind of off to me. But this game right here, like it has that scan line kind of look to it, and it looks really good. I'm like, oh wow, that I don't want to turn it off. I like the little fuzz. It adds a little fuzz to the edges with the really like dark blacks, So aesthetically, it looks really, really good.
And so the scanline thing is an interesting topic because
Mm,
for me, like this game looks great when they add because it's like they program it in modern games. So this is programmed to look like a retro game. But like growing up with a CRT and an RF adapter or the old like little hook plugins,
yeah,
um, but the thing is that you had just the normal fuzz and scan lines for that would be inherent in the television. So my argument is that we're kind of like spoiled by being able to see clean, pure pixels nowadays. But
mm,
talking to the developers from back in that era, they didn't make the games with us intended to be able to play it like that. We were intended to play it on a television where it blended. So if you look at the graphics of Donkey Kong Country, they're meant to be blended so it looks
yeah,
3D. When it's blended on a television, it looks perfect in 3D. It's the same with like Symphony of the Night. Playing
yeah,
Symphony of the Night, you're playing it pixelated. It doesn't look as impressive as if you're playing it on a traditional television because then it blends everything. It looks like a masterpiece. So it is an interesting thing. And art is based on talent. So some games look better than others on the with the blending in place. And that's the same with modern games, is when you
mm,
put these filters on games that were programmed with us being able to see the pixels, because they did the pixels on perfect with these newer modern games. They don't look right with the damn scan lines because it wasn't made with a television in mind. It was meant with a computer monitor or a
yeah,
HD TV. So it's like my brain is like completely mixed. I've kind of done a reset on retro, wanting to play it how we're intended to. Even to
yeah,
the point where I play my analog pocket when I'm playing Game Boy games on it, I put the Game Boy grid on it because you can add it so it looks like the actual Game Boy view on it where it
mm.
actually has the little dots.
Oh,
Whereas that because
great.
that's how an original Game Boy looked versus just clean pixels. Because I can play with clean pixels, but it looks better when you play it how the programmers intended. So it's an interesting thing where my brain is kind of reverting. But modern games, I want to play them clean. Like I've taken
Yeah,
off the damn scan lines off of certain stuff because I'm like, this is programmed to modern. They expected
yeah,
you to play it like clean now.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, it's
It
hit or miss,
is
man.
it is that's it for me is hit or miss. Like sometimes I like it. I'm like, oh man, it looks good. Sometimes like it looks too tacky, but the way they did it looks great. So
Oh, and Cecconoid though, I feel like that game it's got to be in my backlog just for the fact that like I just want to play some playthroughs of it.
yeah.
And I don't know if it has progression in it, but if it does, oh gosh, that'll be the fun part.
And kind of going from that crazy, precision platforming to something a little bit more cozy. And I love my cat games. I saw this. I'm like,
I had to act added Xander's cat game for the
yeah,
episode.
I was like, oh man. But this game, Sombra, is a
Sombra.
2D platformer. It's 5.99, and
Hmm.
you play as a black cat, doing cat things. It looks fun.
Well, and they did an update, which is why this game popped up again. They have cat skins, so you can do different color cats now, white and catico and all the different things. So there's multiple cats now. You can be the cat dad you always wanted to be, Xander.
But yeah, it looked fun. I was like, all right, like for $6, why not?
Yeah,
So
exactly. And it just looks like a cute platformer. I think there's a timer on the levels, which counts up, which means it just leads you to doing speed runs. But it's more of a casual game, which every once in a while, I think you need a little bit of casual
yeah, yeah, it's good to do casual, but then sometimes you just want carnage. You just want to like You just
carnage.
want to drive and just blast. And you think about games like Twisted Metal, and that's what I got the vibes out of this game. This game's called Fumes, and it's right now it's an early access, so you can download the demo. Uh, It looks like it's on sale 10% off for $13.49. Normally a $15 game. But yeah, this is like a
Yeah.
combat racing game. This is awesome.
It's wild, and to me, the graphics in this combat racing game look like more like PlayStation 1 or 2 era
Hmm.
because they like purposely have it be more blocky and boxy on there. And it could just be a filter, but like the graphics remind me of Twisted Metal on the PlayStation, which is
Yeah.
great. Like I need more retro style gameplay in my life, and I played so much San Francisco, Rush, and Twisted Metal, and all these games that like this is right in my wheelhouse. And I just hope that it like plays well. If it plays well, that'll be the key right there too. Like the reviews are overwhelmingly positive, but 600
Uh,
reviews, so that's a good sign.
it's a very good sign. I was just about to mention that. It's got like really good reviews. And yeah, I feel like the kart racing like combat genre, like I feel like it's like a sleeping giant, because you think of games like what was that? Like Rocket League, how popular that is, and Mario Kart. And it's like, dude, you put that together, that's pretty much Twisted Metal at that point. So I mean, it's crazy. I think this would be a lot of fun to play.
Craziness, and is looks awesome as hell. And that's like just 7 games that came across, but we have enough for like 3 episodes at this point of games because like I have 14 more in the queue. There's just so many cool games that have popped up in the last week that it's just like, well, let me put a couple in there. And then the budgets section went crazy this week too. And I'm like, can we got no reprieve because there's just so many amazing games and like wild. And speaking of games with scan lines, this first one actually had scan lines to it.
Oh yeah. What is this? Stamp Boy?
Yeah, Stamp Boy. And I don't know how they programmed this because it definitely has pixel art, but also like it's interesting because they left the kanji or Chinese or Japanese or Korean. It might be Korean.
Mm.
A text in the title, which shows me that, this was a quick port. But the graphics look ridiculous.
It looks
Like,
really cool.
and it's like almost like a single screen action game, kind of like, Snow Brothers or Bubble Bobble. But then it looks like there's platforming too. So I don't know. From like just
Mhm.
from looking at it, it's like a retro style puzzle platformer and has a lot of retro aesthetics to it.
It has 30 different stages and more than four horrific bosses. So it's kind of, depending on how challenging the game is and whatnot. I mean, it's a $2 game, and I feel like you're gonna get a good bang for your buck with this. It's got a very positive review score as well.
And how much was the game? Because I actually have it in my Steam library, so it doesn't show me the price.
It's currently just flat fee, $1.99. But yeah, it's like a $2 game. It's not on sale or
Oh,
anything.
interesting. And so there's another game in our list here that this developer also has worked on. Worked on a couple cat games. So we had already talked about Cat Warrior in the past.
Yeah,
And Cat Warrior, it made this developer of Stamp Boy made Cat Warrior and Kitten Lost Her Box.
which is also included in this episode. And
Exactly.
and this one looks a little bit more challenging than the other cat game.
Yeah, precision platformer is what it's listed as. And the thing is that the graphics for the key art look very basic. Then you go to the
Mhm.
actual game and it's pixelated. Mixed reviews on these type of games too, because again, you're seeing games come through that just have a retro aesthetic, but maybe there's not a lot of depth to it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know last time you were kind of looking up some of the mixed reviews. Um, but it's like, yeah, there will be no third. It's breathtakingly broken. They're broken, imprecise platformers is what they said the new subgenre should be. So apparently it's not precision, it's imprecise platforming.
Ooh, it might have like a
It's
little
just
sluggish to it. It's kind of
Yeah.
sad. Mm.
But it was on sale for a cheap price, so that's good. Um,
This
but
next game.
we had to skip one to go down to Kitten.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
This
What do you
next.
think of this one? I want to hear you pronounce it.
Oh, I know, right? I saw that. I was like, oh my gosh. This is the
Skjoldur story, I think.
Skjoldur.
Skjoldur. It's
This look.
like, yeah.
This is a really like abstract, like pretty Zelda-like game.
Well, and this one, I remember I had played it like a year or two ago because I was going to cover it for the Indie Gaming Gems like book for a minute.
Mhm.
And this is normally a $15 game, and it's $1.50 right now. It's a $15 game for $1.50.
Wow.
The promotion ends soon, so I would recommend getting it. But what's interesting about it is you're like shield blocks projectiles and then you get to shoot them back at the enemy. So it's all like non-linear. And I didn't quite dig that gameplay loop of like having to like constantly be on the defense. And if I
Yeah.
remember right, I don't know if it's when you go in and out of a screen or if you had to like restart something, but like you had to like battle all the enemies again, like constantly.
Oh, they just
And so
respawn.
yeah, so the respawn on it made it less enjoyable for me, but it is complete puzzle style Zelda. Less action, more adventure and puzzle to the game. And so like well worth $1.50, 100% worth $1.50. But it's mostly positive for reviews. So it's what they do real well. The graphics are great. It's just, and it's not that it's like the actual gameplay is off. It's more so you have to like do a lot of waiting for the enemy to attack you to be able to kill them.
Yeah.
So it's like a wait and respond. Whereas I just want to go through and like plow through it after I've already done it once. Like I'm ready to just move on, and I had to like wait every time. So there might be a way later to unlock something.
Yeah, especially if I'm thinking like if there's an I'd hate it if there's like a knockback mechanic. So then like you're in between stages, you get knocked back and you have to go back and fight all them like that would tick me
Yeah.
off. I hate that mechanic.
So it was just something about it just didn't like jive with my play style. But this was a couple years ago, so I may have done better. It might be doing better now.
This game here, little pinball game.
Metroidvania pinball game. This is
Oh,
in alignment with like, but the graphics do look like it was made in Microsoft Paint. So
yeah.
let's
This
see.
this
And it is rolled a Pinball Nightmare, which no longer is on sale apparently because I just looked and it's $5. It's not on sale anymore. I got it for under $1.
ah
So, but it is an exploration Metroidvania. But yeah, the graphics look very, very basic, but for like $1 is what we're checking out.
yeah, I mean it's almost like it's so basic, it's almost like an artistic choice. It's
Yeah,
almost like they were
100%.
we want this game to look like it was from Newgrounds like 2002. That's what it looks like. And
Or
I
like
mean,
I Want to Be the Guy, which was on Newgrounds. Like it does
yeah.
have that graphic, which to me has a charm to it.
Yeah. For sure, for sure.
Yeah, I Want to Be the Guy pinball Metroidvania.
And if you like this, definitely go back to one of our earlier episodes and check out the game Pinball Spire because Pinball Spire is really
Oh,
good.
Pinball Spire is excellent.
And this game right here for a budget, ooh,
Oh,
wow.
yeah,
Wow.
it just popped up and like it was wild. It's normally a $7 game and it's on sale for $1.04. $1.04 week-long sale that it popped up. And like it's called Painted Legend: Knights of Ink and Paper. And
Yeah. This game, I mean, honestly, this game like looks like it would be more than a $7 game. Like it looks really, really good. It has like this really storybook kind of feel to it. Um,
I
yeah,
mean, from what I'm seeing, it looks like it was just overlooked because the graphics look great, the price is great. It's a Metroidvania action adventure platformer. Open world, stylized, everything's hand drawn. The animation has that paper look that I'm like hit or miss on myself
Mhm.
personally, but it still looks excellent. So I just wonder why. Maybe it's because of the graphics that it didn't. Like the graphics to me look cool because it only has 5 user reviews since February, which is crazy to me.
Wow. I'm looking at some of that. I mean, and most of the reviews that are here are pretty good. They got a thumbs up. I'm trying to see if there's any dirt. There's no dirt.
No. But if you want to look into the developer, they also have three other games, all under $2, and one's 89 cents. So you have Painted Legend 2, which are atmospheric platformers, and then a parody game called The Game of Squids, and they're all $1 or $2.
Huh.
So
Yeah, yeah,
hey,
nice.
add these to my wish list because they're all $5 games that are $1 right now.
Game of Squids looks really cool.
Looks wild. Like that Game of Squids one looks crazy. And it's
Yeah.
89 cents. Like, like what the heck, people? So like, yeah, but this stuff gets like lost because there's so many games out there. And the problem is that a lot of the budget games are lacking in quality, whereas some of these games that we're covering are like now budget, but like have a full experience to them.
Yeah. It's it like you said, getting lost in the sauce, you know. All it takes is that one big game that everyone's talking about, and a lot of these games get kind of slipped, or they just have like a really weird looking album, or not album, but like art cover. You know, something's really basic, and we've had that before. We've had like a game where like the cover art looked really basic, and you click on it, and you're like, wow, this game actually looks really good. You know?
And I think the issue that we have is quantity because, if last year was any indication with 30,000 games, it becomes near impossible to create a unique title. And like the art is on the person, but like to create something that stands out in a perfect storm, like people need to be noticed in a 30,000 a year game space is like insane. Like
Yeah,
I don't even know how indie developers could do anything outside of just being super passionate and loving what they do. Like that's the only thing that they could do because like other than that, man, it's 9 times out of 10 you're gonna be overlooked and it's sad.
yeah. And we all get busy, and things happen, and like you said, everything just gets so convoluted, and that kind of goes into your Patreon, Jeff, because you're always busy. You
I'm
got so
always
much.
convoluted. I'm always convoluted.
You always got some stuff going on. And the Patreon is a great way. It's free to join, but it's a great way to be updated on, whatever Jeff's doing, whatever the podcast is doing. And
And like, keep in mind, like we mentioned, I just came back from a few conventions. Like, I'm not doing any other conventions, so it's like when I go to a convention, like it's a random occurrence. Like, if I do one a quarter, that's like the max, and I'm not even trying to do that. Like, I will
yeah.
go if like one of my buddies is running a convention.
Ah,
But yeah, so like, but the thing is like the Patreon is the way to figure out what's going on. I'm currently working on a collab with Thriller Crew. So I'm trying to get like 40 to 50 art pieces done this month, which is
mm,
crazy. So I've been painting every day in between working out and work and stuff. Just been painting stuff so I can get this collab done. And it should be the four NES characters from TNC Surf Designs, some done with modernized colors. Pretty much all of them are done
cool.
with modernized colors, but like it just looks really cool. I'm working on this canvas that I'm going to show off, which I think we're doing one of, and then there's going to be like only 10 of each character or something like that. It's going to be a small release, but it is a licensed collab with the artists that I am hand painting. So that's been fun. I haven't really been working on any books because of that, because I'm moving into the house and working on the Kyle's collection, like documenting everything. So the books haven't really prioritized, but in my world, I have 30. titles released, so
Yeah.
it'll be okay. But like I have books done, like the Switch Year 3 is done. I'm working like it's all I got to do is take it to Kickstarter. It'll probably be more so after the holidays.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah, and
might do a Sega CD Kickstarter for the Sega CD book that I have done, but I would like to really release it legit. So I might do that.
yeah, and again, that's one of the best ways to know what Jeff's doing is join the Patreon. And we have to give a big shout out to our uh executive producers
Yeah,
for
those that
for the
are
support.
yeah, because the Kickstarter or the Patreon is free. But those that do support, you get physical items and a shout out at the end of the episode. And the Mortal Kombat piece is the one this quarter, and I will be shooting out a awesome Mortal Kombat coaster to everyone. But yeah, I definitely want to give a shout out to Akroloth
And David Isherwood.
and Lunchbox, aka the Disgruntled Gamer from Thunderdome Gaming Society. He definitely found some crazy games this week. Every week he finds crazy games.
Yeah.
And this one was like, "Do you like this and this and this? This is what's going on." I'm like, "Holy cow, that looks awesome."
Yeah, I remember I'm trying to remember which game he shared recently, but in the post at was the very end, he was like, "My backlog is getting like uncontrollable" or something like that. And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, it's getting there."
That's
Yeah, he's
wild.
it's always got good recommendations, and of course, for all the support from Jesse Glenn as well.
Yep. And if you want to go and join, sometimes I post this as the link, but it's patreon.com/Hagen's Alley is where you go for that. But again, free to join just so you can follow along. Like there's no monetary requirement. But if you do, it does help with my storage costs every month that I have for, the thousands and thousands of books that I have going on. So it does help. Every little bit helps. We appreciate you.
Oh yeah, and as always, guys, we want to thank you for listening. As always, happy gaming and support indie.